Turn the lights down low and the drama up. She's late, she's loud, and she live. Woo! You already know who it is. Shades 2, baby. She back again. Shade walk in like we back again. News, tea, jokes and spins. She don't do small talk, she go in. From the headlines to the comment section. She call names with no correction. You tuned in, don't act brand new. It's late night, baby, she got that view.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want, and laughs all day. Look on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I let game, and back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want, and laughs all day. Look on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Popcorn ready, wig on alert. She dropped one line, is somebody hurt? Talk show queen with a side of roast. She run this thing from coast to coast. Late on purpose, still on time. She hit you with shade, then call it a rhyme. Talk smart, talk slick, talk flame. Say the name right here, late night with Shay.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. That's right. News, drama, laughs, whatever else you feel like. One mic, one queen. Late night with Shay. On Shay's tube, she back again.
It's late night with Shay.
Yeah, she say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Yeah.
What's up, y'all? Happy New Year's, you guys. I am back, y'all. After being off for a day doing the night out because I, was, enjoying the New Year's and everything. I barely got here tonight, but I decided to come on in and go ahead and do this New Year's show because I definitely wanted to come in and do it for you guys. So again, happy and blessed New Year, guys. Make 2026 much better than the 2025. And, I hope you went into this new year on a positive note, okay? And if you didn't, change it today because it's never too late and start being a little bit more positive, all right? And thank you guys so much for being here. Welcome to everybody in the bushes, everybody who watched this in the replay. All right, guys, let's go ahead and do this copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. That entire copyright disclaimer is in my description area. And part of it is scrolling across that screen. Let me check my volume real quick. Okay. Let me check my. Everything sounds good. I always have to check, especially if my mods are not here to make sure everything is good. Okay. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this content tonight, make sure you thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification so you can be notified of any upcoming videos. Make sure you share and leave a comment. If you want to show additional support to this channel, feel free to do a super sticker, super chat, cash app donation at $Shades2 or copy yourself a membership for $4.99 per month. Thank you so much. Thanks to Sharon Smith for donating, the first person to donate yesterday. I definitely appreciate that. And thank you again. All right. All right. So let's go ahead and get back over here. Let's change everything. All right, guys, go get you something to drink. A relaxing bed or seat if you're watching this in the daytime. If you are at work, continue to do your job or watch or listen to me on the down low. All right. All right. So tonight, you guys, it's not going to be my regular live. Obviously, it's New Year's. We're not going to be in here that long because I came on kind of late. And y'all know the girl got to go to bed. It's 12:24 a.m. out here on the West Coast. So by 1 o'clock, 1:05, 1:10, somewhere around that time, we will be done. All right. All right. Make sure y'all check out my other videos, Country Rain Reaction Lives, YouTube Shorts, and my Dollar Tree, latest Dollar Tree shopping haul. Make sure in my other Night Owls shows. Make sure you check those out because it's some good content, you guys. All right. And share it as well. All right. So tonight, y'all, we're going to wrap up 2025. I also want to talk about when dating app link ups turn into a deadly crime. Okay. I want to tell you about this latest situation that happened involving a dating app just turned tragic. And y'all, if y'all meeting people online or on dating apps or, just on different social media sites, be careful for real. I'm saying for real because there's some weird people out here, both men and women. Okay. So make sure y'all be careful. I have came across a weirdo on here. So I'm just letting you guys know, be careful. Okay. Be careful. Let me take this down real quick right here and put that back up. Let me turn my background music on in the back too. We probably will watch 1 or 2 videos. Otherwise, not too many. And then I want to also tell you about some major things that happened in 2025. And what else? There was something else in the people that passed in 2025. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Thank you guys again for being here. Let me see what I want to put on. Okay, we can have that on in the background. I can barely hear it. Let me turn this up. Okay, it's already up to the limit. Okay. Actually, I have to turn it up like this. Yeah, right there is fine because I don't like to have complete silence. Okay. So let's go ahead and start this off with the dating app hookups that turn deadly. Okay. Let me just put that up there real quick. I forgot to do the head. I always forget to do something. All right. There was no update on Tyler Perry or D4VD or Rob Reiner that I wanted to talk about tonight. I'll do it tomorrow. Okay. I'll do it tomorrow. Okay. Wait, let me change that title. When dating online, okay? Okay. So anyway, I'm only going to tell you like maybe 2 or 3 stories because we can't be here all night. I mean, it's so many people. You would be here all damn week. Okay. So I'm going to tell you about the first story real quick, and then I'm going to show it on here, hopefully. And then I'll give you 2 more stories. Okay. The person that's on my thumbnail, I think I already talked about them. Okay. So I probably won't cover that. I just put that up there as a thumbnail because I didn't have time enough to find a thumbnail that was, something that I could show with this first story because it was kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? And you can't put certain things on your, on YouTube. Anyway, hold on. St. Laurent, hush. Goodness, you started every night. Cut that out. Okay, so a Louisiana man required emergency, I don't even know what this means, intubation at a hospital after 2 men he met on a dating app poured paint thinner on him. Okay, and that's according to the police at St. George, all right, in Louisiana. Lyrico Walker, 32, and I did have a picture of those two. I should have put them up there. And Devontae Artrell Dotson, 29, are facing charges that they lit the victim's sofa on fire, which then engulfed the entire house. And that's according to WBRZ TV. Okay. Now, court documents allege that Dotson and Walker spent the night at the man's home, and then they attacked him when he woke up to see them attempting to steal his credit card information. Okay. The men started dousing him with paint thinner, and then they set the sofa afire. Okay. According to police documents, the victim managed to get out through a rear garage. According to St. George Fire people, a neighbor helped him escape before emergency responders took him to a medical center where he was intubated due to smoke inhalation trauma. Okay, let's see what else we got here. So yeah, these are the 2 dudes right here who did it. Let me show y'all. And then I'll put a video on, let y'all hear more about them in just 1 second. They need to go on my front. I'm about to put them on the front thing. Oh my God. Let's see. So they said what we do know is that they were thieves. So they were stealing credit cards. There were other indications that this was not their first time stealing from people. Okay. And that's according to Public Information and Education Officer Meg Clean. She also says, so we do know that was probably their main intent. Fire crews reported arriving at the M. Rolane residence around 7:30 a.m. on December the 15th to discover the two-story building completely consumed by fire, with intense fire bursting from both the front and rear. The man's two cars. What? The man's two cars. Okay, I don't know why they wrote this like this. The man's two cars passed on inside. Who wrote this? Okay, let me just put it in a different way. The men, two cars got extensive damage, okay, inside of the garage. Goodness. Emergency teams managed to control the fire within an hour. Footage by WBRZ showed heavy flames shooting from the two-story home as thick smoke poured into the sky. Walker and Dotson now face charges of aggravated arson, attempted first-degree murder, and aggravated cruelty to animals, and have been booked in the East Baton Rouge Parish Prison. Okay. Now, this incident is a tragic example of how intentional fires place not only the intended victim, but entire neighborhoods and first responders at risk, extreme risk. And that's according to Fire Chief Gerard Tarleton. Okay. He also said, thanks to the quick actions of our crews and mutual aid partners, this fire was contained before it could claim additional lives. Acts like this will be thoroughly investigated and those responsible will be held accountable. The victim's residence has been completely destroyed, according to firefighters. And properties that were on both sides of that building were also had sustained fire damage. Okay. So the question I got is, when these men met, because they stayed overnight, were they like dating? Hey, Evelyn, Happy New Year's to you. And thank you so much for being here. Bronze, what's going on? Happy New Year's. Okay, so they were dating, I guess, because they went to sleep. And then when the man woke up, he saw these two men trying to, I guess, rob him or whatever case it is. And that's when they threw, hey, Jermaine, thank you for being here. That's when they poured paint thinner on him and set him on fire. That's why I said, you guys, you have to be careful out here dating people online, because you never know what type of weirdos you may come in contact with. You know what I'm saying? And some people are, some people be like, weird, where you just don't like them. But then you got people who are weird and they are just damn violent. You know what I'm saying? They just do weird stuff. It's like so many stories like this is plainly ridiculous. Okay. Before I go further into this dude right here, let me go ahead and switch to this other dude. His name is Rake Prowell or Prowell. I don't know how you pronounce his last name, so bear with me. I think this is him right here. I want y'all to go ahead and listen to his story. I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. I'm gonna go ahead and get this cat. Okay, hold on, y'all just go ahead and watch this. I'm going ahead and get him.
Men murdered. Investigators say both were lured to their deaths through an online dating app, and the man now under arrest and charged with their murders is well known to police for a string of previous burglaries in which he wore a mask to hide his identity.
This man, 34-year-old Rakim Prowell of Inglewood, on Monday was charged with murdering 2 men and attempting to kill another after connecting with all 3 of the alleged victims on a dating app. Investigators say Prowell's first victim was Miguel Angel King. They met up on July 20th, 2021, after connecting through an online dating app. Prowell accused of fatally shooting King and stealing his car. King's remains were discovered in the Angeles National Forest 3 weeks later. Then 2 years after that, on August 21st, 2023, investigators say Prowell made plans with 53-year-old Robert Gutierrez, who he also met through the same dating app. Gutierrez's family reporting him missing 2 days later, his body never discovered, investigators locating his car in Prowell's garage when he was arrested last week. A third unidentified 40-year-old victim, investigators say, met up with Prowell earlier this year on February 22nd. The pair also connecting online. Prowell accused of binding the victim, beating him with a bat, and stealing his wallet. The victim managing to escape, but investigators allege Prowell chased him with a car, hit him, breaking his leg. And take a look at this security footage of what appears to be a white man, but it's really a masked Rakim Prowell wearing the disguise he used during a series of burglaries across Los Angeles between 2019 and 2021, a crime Prowell is currently on probation for.
2 local men murdered. Investigators say both were lured to their death.
And this is what I'm talking about. Another example of meeting someone online and you think everything is cool, and it turns out to be another DEADLY link up. That's why, again, you have to, I know y'all think I'm tripping, but honestly, you do have to do some type of background checks on these people for real, because you just never know who you may be getting in contact with. You know what I'm saying? And then just basically getting to know them real good, you know, just listening to them, doing FaceTime, just all types of stuff, because you got some weird ass people, you know, out here doing weird stuff. Now let's go right back to Lyrical and Devontae. Let me go ahead and type their names in here. And I told you guys about some stories of some people who did link ups on social media, and like that one, and that dude unalive that girl. Okay, so again, you got to be very careful out here. Some weird ass people out here that do weird stuff. Okay, so be very careful. So let me make sure I got the right people. Okay, let me put this up here because they got Devontae the singer up here. Okay. Okay, let me put it like this, because they pulling up the singer and everything else. His last name is not that last name. At least I don't think it is. Let me see if I can pull up the right one. Okay, this is not the right people. It's so hard finding stuff on this damn social media sometimes, you guys. Let me just put it like this then. Okay, let's take this down and do it a different way. Okay, let's see. Let me just put it like this. You got to put one of their names up here. Let's see. Okay, hold on. Let me see. What is the dude's name? I forgot his name. They didn't even get, I don't even think they put the victim's name on here. They just put the people who did it name on here, I believe. Let's see if I can pull this up. I had it up here once before, but I took it down. Let's see. Let me just see if I can do Walker. Let me put the one man name up here because I don't want to put the one that's named Devontae. They're going to put up that singer. I'm going to put it up here like this, okay? And see if we can pull it up. So this is hard, like I said before. Yeah, is this them right here? Yeah, this is them right here. Let me make sure. I need to write. I gotta make sure. Let me see if these 2 characters right here. Let me look at their pictures. Yeah, I think I'm not sure. No, this is a different one right here. Hold on, let me make sure this is not the right dude. Hold on, let me see.
Just a reminder to not engage in online
Yes,
hookups.
yeah.
Like, don't meet somebody
Yeah.
online and give them the address to your house.
Yeah.
Okay?
Is these the two?
These two men, Lyrica Walker and
Yeah,
Devontae
that's them. Boy, they look crazy as hell, especially this one right here. Okay.
Dotson, I believe, are currently behind bars. They were there to engage in activities. Instead, they drugged him, did some meth, and set the house on fire. Although the man was placed in a bathtub with his cat, he managed to escape. Praise God. And these two crazy psychos sat outside and watched the house burn. Yep. Just a reminder to not engage in online hookups. Like, don't meet somebody online and give them the address to your house, okay? These two men, Lyrica Walker and Devontae Dots.
And see, that's why I like going online, because they always have additional information. All right. But they also try to rob this dude, use his credit cards and stuff like that. Okay. And you would think what be going on in people's minds. And these two probably have done this before. I think they said they believe they have done this before. Just plainly crazy. What did you say? Oh, you said, hey guys. Okay. Let's see what else some people got about this. This is weird. And they're looking crazy as hell in those mug shots, huh? That's crazy. This is not the same dude I know. Yeah, that's not him. That's a different dude. It's just so many people that does weird stuff like this. Okay, let's see if we got any other one. I think that's all of them though, but it just goes to show you that you definitely can't be hooking up with people online, okay? Because you got all types of people online pretending to be something that they're not, pretending to be normal and be something wrong with them. You know what I'm saying? It be something wrong with them and stuff. And then you invite them over or him over. You thinking everything going good. And then next thing you know, you somewhere effed up. Okay? So that's two stories right there I just told you guys about. What do you guys got to say about that? Oh my gosh. Let me get off this app. Man. Okay, let's see what else we got here. I got another story to tell you about too. So that's one, that's two. I just told you about the other dude who also met up with, a man. So, I mean, these people are just plainly ridiculous. Okay. Meeting up with these damn men online, trying to have, what, and then get themselves caught up into something. Hold on, let me see what the other story is that I have. Okay, hold on. I mean, a lot of times when I be telling you guys these stories, it usually be women. So tonight we got, these two men. So let me tell you about Damon Allen Benson. Okay, hold on. I have to get this look. I had to get my notes. Okay, I had to get my notes, y'all. We're not gonna go over too many because it'll take too long. Okay. It's a lot of people. Okay. It's like, you would think people learn their lessons when they see other people being, taken advantage of. Let me see if this is the right person. It always come up with something else. Okay. It always come up with something else. I don't know if that's him. Let me check it and look in here and see. Hold on, y'all, for a second. Bear with me now, because, when you work all the damn time and you try to do lives and everything else, man, it'd be hard to do this stuff sometimes. Okay. Let's see if I can pull up the story. Okay. So this dude, Damon Allen Benson, he was just found guilty back in 2023 of murder, torture, and mayhem charges, okay? He was on Tinder, all right? And I think that's him right there, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Hold on. Can y'all hear me pretty good? Still my ass coming up on here. Let's see. So this man is 31 years old, okay? So what he did, he tortured a woman he met on Tinder, and then he unalived her other lover. Okay? So that's why I said you got to be careful. Prosecutor said, hold on. Hold on, let me this damn ad. Why would an ad come and block the whole article? I don't know what they be doing on these news things. A minute. Let me see. Hold on, because they done blocked the ad. I got to pull this. So prosecutor said all three people met separately on the Tinder dating app. Okay. So anyway, Benson was found in August of 2021 to be holding the woman captive at his apartment after torturing her on many occasions. Then he got the address of the woman's other lover after he tortured her, and then he unalived her other lover. That's crazy. That's why, like I said before, that's why you have to be careful. Okay, you really do, because you just never know who you may meet online. And I don't know for sure if that's him right there. Let me look at this and see. I think this is him though.
This is Damon Benson, but he should make you think twice before meeting up with someone online or from a dating app before actually knowing them ever again. Started out when a woman matched with Damon on Tinder. For privacy purposes, we're going to call the woman Jules. After matching and messaging each other a few times back and forth, Damon and Jules agreed to meet up. So in February of 2021, they decided to meet up in Conan's Ranch Park in California. When they first met up here, apparently they ended up having a good time and bonding over things that they had in common, like hiking and outdoor activities. For the most part, Jules and Benson were working out pretty well in the beginning, until things took a very dark turn. After a few weeks of seeing each other, Jules recalled one specific instance where everything just took a turn for the worst. It was over at Benson's apartment, and apparently they got in an argument that ended up turning physical. Eventually, Jules let the argument de-escalate and she waited for Benson to go to bed, and then she ended up writing him a note basically saying that she was done and left it on the pillow. Proceeded to call her mom for a ride, letting her know that she was very scared and that she needed to be picked up. After them breaking up, nothing really came of it until a few months later. Everywhere she would go, she would just keep noticing that Benson would keep popping up the same places she was at. After a few times, she realized that this was not a coincidence. But at this point, Jules was already in another relationship with another guy that she met from Tinder named Cameron. But then eventually Benson picked up on the fact that Jules was in a whole new relationship. And that upset him even to the point of him blowing up Jules' phone, basically asking to meet up so he can confront her about this whole new relationship. And eventually, for some reason, Jules ended up agreeing to meet up with Benson to talk about this whole thing. So Benson agreed to pick up Jules from her apartment and then drive them to his apartment to talk this whole thing out. This part definitely disturbed me the most. When they got to the apartment, Benson repeatedly left burn marks all over Jules. And ended up getting even more physical and saying that he wasn't going to stop until she told him the name of her new boyfriend. But then after more arguing, Jules ended up escaping and getting back to her own apartment. Somehow Benson convinced Jules to come over to her apartment to discuss things again.
Yes.
She went. This time it was worse. This is Damon Benson.
And that's stupid. You know what I'm saying? There is no way she should have went back to his apartment. Okay, that's crazy. And then he ended up unaliving her lover. That is crazy. That's why I'm telling you guys, you better look at the warning signs. You better look at the red flags, do some investigative work, and find out who you are dating. All right, point blank. Okay, so Jermaine said, if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Okay. And, we all let people go through. We all ignore, at least most of us ignore some red flags, but you just cannot ignore certain ones. Okay. And take it from me when I say that, you cannot ignore certain red flags. Okay. Now I want to tell you guys about this other one. Let me just type it in because I know good and well I'm getting ready to torture this person's name. Let me just type it in here real quick and put it up here because I don't want to say it. I don't know if it's Daniel or what. I'm just going to call him Dan. Shit. Okay. Anyway, let me let them tell you about it first. Then I'll tell you about it in 1 second. Okay. Actually, let's see. So that's him. That's the one that's on my picture. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to call him Dan. He's a Connecticut man who was wanted in New York for the murder of a 29-year-old nurse, Samantha Stewart, in July 2018. And of course, he met her on Tinder. And then he went on a date with her and later allegedly beat and strangled her in her Queens apartment. And her body was found by her brother. Then he ran out to California, where a New York, New Jersey police task force tracked him down. He was arrested in a North Hollywood apartment where he was allegedly holding another woman he had met on a dating app captive, having actually assaulted and beaten her over 2 days. He got a serious problem. Now, after his arrest, Drayton claimed to have been involved in as many as 7 murders across the country, but police have only linked him to the murder of Samantha Stewart in a separate grape case in Brooklyn involving a different dating app encounter. He was extradited to New York to face charges for Stewart's unaliving, which included murder, sexual misconduct, and grand larceny. He faces up to 25 years to life in prison if convicted of murder. Okay, so let's go ahead and listen to what she's saying about this dude. Okay?
Daniel Drayton was using dating apps to hunt women. And if something doesn't change, he won't be the last. It was July of 2018, and Samantha Stewart swiped right on Tinder. She was 29 years old, a nurse from Queens, New York, bright, kind, the type of person who lit up the room when she walked in. She told her family she met someone new. His name was Daniel. He seemed charming, sweet, safe. But on July 17th, Samantha's brother walked into her bedroom and found her brutally beaten and strangled to death. Her family's world shattered that day, and as police began investigating, they discovered that Daniel Drayton was already gone. He'd stolen Samantha's credit cards and fled across the country to LA. That's when the story began to unravel. See, Drayton should have never even been free to meet Samantha. Just 1 month earlier in June, he'd been arrested for essaying another woman in Brooklyn. Before that, he spent time in jail for choking his ex-girlfriend in 2013. Another woman he met online, Plenty of Fish. He broke into his ex's home after their breakup and tried to strangle her to death. But despite all of that, he was released without bail on July 5th, 2018.
And see, that's the problem right there. When they be letting these psychos out of jail when they need to be there. Okay, because something be clearly wrong with some of these people. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand why the justice system keeps doing that. We have heard so many stories where people have done crimes, right? Horrible crimes. And then they get out. But yet you guys want to talk about Diddy. You should be concentrating on these real people out here that's hurting people. Okay? These girls are not meeting up with dudes like this to get unalived or beaten or raped. They're trying to find a legit partner. And if you want to go on a dating site and meet someone, you should be able to do this. I think they need to make those little sites a little bit safer too. They should conduct, make the people pay for it, background checks and everything, even reference checks, okay? Because you would be surprised to what you can find out just by doing a background check and reference, okay? And this dude right here should have never been out of jail, though, on everything.
And 12 days later, Samantha Stewart was dead. But that's not all. See, Drayton also had 5 prior convictions in Connecticut, including another alleged strangulation in 2011. Yep. But somehow, none of that information ever appeared in front of the New York City judge who released him.
It's crazy.
A whole record of violence simply hidden by a broken system. Daniel's parole officer in Connecticut had been looking for him for months, trying to track him down because he had stopped checking in. But no one seemed to connect the dots, and no one realized they were letting a predator move freely between states, right into the life of another victim. After Samantha's murder, the NYPD and LAPD joined together to form a task force. They knew he was in Los Angeles, and they knew he was hunting again. On July 24th, 2018, they caught a lucky break. They got a phone call from a North Hollywood motel. Police arrived to find a woman tied to her bed, alive, but just barely. Drayton had assaulted her and tried to strangle her too, but she survived because the police got there in time. Drayton told the police he'd killed before. He said the voices told him to hurt women, and still, though, he'd been allowed to keep doing it. He was finally arrested and charged with attempted murder and sexual assault. His bail set at $1.25 million.
See how these people be having these mental situations going on? Okay. Anytime somebody telling you they hearing voices and shit, I mean, come on now. And you just met them, it's time to probably stop talking to this person. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, a lot of people have experienced similar things, and they let it slide. But in all reality, I don't think we should let that slide. Because that, I mean, what are these voices telling him? And what could these voices be saying later on? He said voices was telling him to unalive women. And he should have been in a mental damn hospital.
He was extradited back to New York City, where he was indicted for Samantha's murder, 18 charges in total. But then came another devastating blow. His lawyers argued that he had been denied a speedy trial, and his case was dismissed in 2022.
What? That's why you have to make sure you do everything legally, the right way. Because if you make one mistake, people can get out because you made that mistake. There's a lot of cases like that where these lawyers mess up, or like if you're filing paperwork on someone and you don't do something the right way, it gets just thrown out, or you have to do the paperwork all over again. That's a trip. So that's why you got to make sure you do things correctly. Okay, let's go ahead.
It was only reinstated after 2 years of appeals in 2024. And as of today, we don't have a current court date for Daniel Drayton. There is no justice yet for Samantha Stewart. Samantha's death, however, wasn't just the result of one man's evil. It was the result of a system that failed over and over again. A justice system that ignored the red flags, and dating apps that let dangerous users blend in with everyone else. And that's why I'm working with change.org to push.
But let me update something though. Like I told you, he was extradited to New York to face charges for Stewart's unaliving, okay, which included murder, sexual misconduct, and grand larceny. He faces up to 25 years to life in prison if convicted. So justice is being served regarding him. And then the other case I just told you about, the Damon Allen Benson, he was sentenced to 71 years to life in prison in California, okay, for torturing a woman he met on Tinder and unaliving her boyfriend in 2021. Okay, that's the one I just showed y'all, I told you about. And then with Raheem, they call him Rake here, but Prowl, the one who was accused in Los Angeles of murdering 2 men he met on a dating app in 2023 and attempted to murder a third. I guess they're still trying to, get his case together. I don't know for sure because I don't see any more information on him or anything. All right. So the cases that I just told you guys about, you guys, these cases highlight the potential dangers of online dating and the importance of taking safety precautions when meeting people in person for the first time. Okay, and like I said before you meet people online, you definitely should talk to them a long time. Some months if you need to. You should do a background check. Hell, they can do a background check on you too. If possible, a reference check. You can do that, but definitely a background check, because you would be surprised what a background check will tell you about people. You want to get on camera with them just to check out how they be acting and things like that, to see their surroundings, and things like that. Just like if you were to meet them in person. Go somewhere where a lot of people are at. I'm not going to tell you to carry anything with you because you're not supposed to online, but you don't be slow. All right, just put it like that. And don't be going to people's apartments and houses and stuff when you meet them the first time. Not even to a hotel, because somebody can easily have you in that hotel room and still unalive you before anybody even know. Don't be going anywhere like that. Stay out in the open, and make sure you got you some pepper spray, or this man told me to use bear spray, but here in Cali, I think it's illegal. You do what you want to do. I'm just saying pepper spray, just in case, and maybe a little whistle or something, like they care, a safety whistle, because, a lot of people don't like a lot of noise if they're trying to do something. And just, use common sense. Me and you too, because I have stories where men have been set up by women, and then they end up robbing the man, and sometimes they unalive the man. Okay, I got one story on my phone somewhere like that. I just can't find it right now, but this happens to men and women. Okay, when they be meeting people online, hooking up with them, thinking these people are okay, and they turn out to be weirdos, psychos, just got something wrong with them, so even men need to be careful. Be careful, because you just never know. You never know who you are hooking up with and what the hell is going on in their mind. Okay, you just don't know. And I'm trying to see if I can find that one real quick. Let me go ahead and tell you this other shocking story, because I didn't get a chance to tell you guys about that. We're going to stop this one right here. If I do find that other story, I will tell you guys, but those are the main ones that I wanted to tell you guys about. Okay, so let me go ahead and tell you guys about this real quick, because usually we just tell you about women. Okay, I think this one. But at times, men also get great. Okay, let me go to that story real quick. Then I want to tell you about this awful story that happened to this little girl as well. And that's why you have to make sure you keep an eye out on your kids and school them so they can know what to do and what not to do. Okay, point blank in this world today on everything. Okay, let me see if I can find the other story that I just told you guys about. So listen to this. A man, let me get off the screen right here real quick. A man, okay, was great in a terrifying Christmas attack. Okay, can y'all believe that? And that was over there, I believe, in UK. Okay, so you don't hear about too many men getting raped here in the USA. I mean, there are accounts of it, but not that many. So let's see here. A man in his 30s was actually assaulted on Brook Street near Pell's Pool in Lowes, East Sussex. The incident happened between 10 p.m. on Christmas Eve and 3 a.m. on Christmas Day. Gosh. So that's all they got on him. I mean, they telling you what they did, investigate everything. I guess they're looking for the person and all of that. But that is weird. Let's see. Yeah, they're looking for this dude. I don't think they found him yet. Let me see if they found him. So yeah, they haven't found this guy. Okay. They're asking people if they were there in that area on Christmas Eve night. And they asking people if they saw anything or they have any footage to contact the police, or you can make a report online. That is crazy. That is crazy, man. A man getting raped on Christmas Eve. They don't go into any other information on that either, okay? But I know one damn thing. When they start raping men, something is just, they just don't give a damn for real. It's already bad when they be raping a woman that they don't give a damn, but damn, they getting really desperate. They raping just anybody they see now. Let me see what some of these commenters are saying. Somebody said male sexual assault is more common than anyone knows. When it happens, the male victim is too embarrassed. But see, a lot of these probably are women that they know, just forcing them to do something. I don't know. But this right here, the story I just told you, they actually raped him for real. I mean, if a woman takes that from a man, it's still great. But I'm just saying, this right here, these two men raped this man. And we don't know if this man, it's just horrible. I mean, just thinking about it. Because, a man can do a lot of stuff to another man. Okay? What can a woman really do to a man? She can't, she could do some weird stuff, but I don't know. She could do some weird stuff, okay? But just if you're a man and you got two men raping you, That's horrible for real. That really is. This, it really is. I'm just thinking about that. That's really, gosh. Somebody said, what's going on with all the male-on-male rapes in the UK lately? Never heard of these only a few years ago. Anyone know what's changed? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Somebody said GAY men did it. I don't know what type of men, if they were heterosexual or what. I don't know. Somebody said men should carry bear spray. Somebody said, does this stuff actually work? And then somebody said, yeah, like tear gas. They say he was great for 5 hours. Damn. Goodness. Then somebody said the average aggravated rape against a woman is 6 to 48 hours. But we're not talking about women. We are talking about men. I hate when people do that. The thing about it, the only thing, what I'm thinking about, if this dude wasn't, if this dude is a heterosexual, and then you say 2 men rape him, it's like being in prison. You know what I'm saying? Damn, I know he is messed up mentally. Dang. They didn't go into much detail. Somebody was asking, did he scream? Did he fight back? It was 2 against 1. And then he might have been a little tipsy because it was Christmas Eve. And somebody said, rape is not funny no matter who it happens to. And I agree. Yeah, that's. Oh man, these people in this comment section is crazy, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. I can't even read that one right there. Somebody said, poor man, I hope they catch who did it. For a woman, great is great. It sure is. So they didn't even show us this dude. Well, they're not gonna show his picture or anything, but they didn't really give us any information. But anyway, my prayers are extending out to him, and hopefully he be okay. Because I mean, that is definitely had to be very devastating. Goodness, I don't forgot what I was going to tell you guys about after reading that, and I didn't even read it, and they didn't even have in-depth information. It just was a mess. You know what I'm saying? Damn. Okay, so anyway, let me tell you about this other attack. If I get any updates on that story, I'll let you guys know. So now this is involving a little girl. Okay, hold on. I want to tell you about that too, but let me tell you about this. A teen girl was raped for 6 hours in her car as her attackers encourage each other. And I think this right here, I don't know if this is in USA. Let me see. Oh, this is in UK too. 4 teenagers face sexual assault charges following an alleged brutal 6-hour gang rape of a 17-year-old girl in Liverpool, New South Wales, leaving the victim very distraught. The young men, wait till you hear the ages 14, 16, 18, and 19 were charged with multiple offenses, including aggravated sexual assault, sexual without consent. Anyway, the case is being investigated by the State Crime Command's X-Crime Squad. So let's see here. So the 17-year-old girl was at a shopping center, okay, on December the 15th, 2024, when she was allegedly approached by a 16-year-old boy whom she did not know. So let's see here. According to the NSW police, he is accused of following the teenager as she walked to the parking lot. Next, the girl reluctantly let him inside her car, and he allegedly video called his co-conspirators and began to actually assault her. And it was not premeditated. Then the 16-year-old allegedly refused to leave, but promised the girl he would if she took him to Wheat Park in nearby Sadler, according to reports from the Australian Broadcasting Corporation. Once they arrived at the park, 2 other males allegedly went inside the girl's car and actually assaulted her. Then a 4th male arrived at the scene in another car and then allegedly entered her car, which was already occupied by the other 3 males. Police stated that the alleged rapist drove the victim's car while allegedly continuing to assault her. They also encouraged each other during the assault and made the victim feel fearful. Then 2 of the alleged offenders were dropped off and left the car, while the 2 remaining suspects allegedly returned to the park and continued to actually assault this girl again. It was around 11:30 p.m. when the 17-year-old girl was finally left alone after 6 hours. She then called a friend who drove her to Liverpool police station to report the incident and to receive medical assistance. Now that's crazy as hell. So they did end up arresting the 16-year-old. He was charged with 24 offenses, including 9 counts of sexual intercourse without consent and 8 counts of aggravated sex assault, and with an offender in the company of other persons. And then on that same day, a 14-year-old was taken into custody and charged with 10 offenses, including 7 counts of aggravated sexual assault in company. Okay, and then let's see. The teens appeared at a children's court on December the 21st. Both were refused bail and were expected to appear before the court again on August 11, 2025. Now, the 2 oldest alleged offenders were arrested on June the 17th, 2025, and faced court the following day. And they were charged with a combined 14 counts of aggravated sexual assault. And the only named alleged offender, Adam Abdul Hamid, 19, was refused bail during a brief court appearance. Now, his lawyer claimed that his client is innocent. So the 18-year-old, who was a juvenile in December and therefore cannot be identified by name, was refused bail ahead of an application on that Tuesday. Now, like I said before, that's just plain ridiculous. Okay, these little bitty ass boys. I forgot how old the youngest one is. 12. Need their ass whooped. Let's keep it real. God. And why did she let? That's why I say you got to teach your daughters. Okay. For real, for real. He followed her and then encouraged her or persuaded her to let him inside of her car. Okay. Somebody said Adam Abdul Hamid. Well, there's your problem. They should never have been in the country. Imagine how many girls are great in their home countries, and never even reported. And they encourage this kind of behavior. Goodness. Somebody said the U.S. is home to the highest amount of child predators. Somebody said that's why they don't want the real history to be taught. It would show who the real rapists are. Okay. Anyway, like I said, I mean, that's plainly ridiculous right there. You know, and parents, you got to parent your kids and keep them, you know, being productive, law-abiding citizens. Okay, goodness, because these little boys are just like too damn young to even be thinking about doing things like that. Period. They shouldn't even be thinking about X or anything else. Not nothing like that. Somebody said castrate all of them, as in SA survivor. It still hunts you even 30 years later. I was SAD at 17 and I'll be 47 on my birthday. Sometimes it still hunts me. I wake up crying and wondering what I could have done to have prevented it. My husband says it's not my fault, but I still feel vulnerable. Castrate all of these demons. No mercy. That would be a good thing to do. Okay, when you rape someone, it's automatically that's what they should do, and then it'll stop. Somebody said the poor victim that they assaulted is white, and the 4 men are Middle Eastern. Okay, that's what they just said. That's sad, and clearly, that's crazy. They didn't even feel no remorse or anything. Okay. Because they, you know, took turns and they was encouraging each other on a 17-year-old girl. That's crazy. But anyway, my prayers are extended out to her, okay? And hopefully she can get through all of this. I know it's going to be hard because, damn, 6 hours, all these dudes, come on now. Okay, so again, we got to teach our kids certain things, okay, point blank. You know, same thing that we need to teach ourselves about getting, you know, to really know people that we meet online. You shouldn't even be meeting people online, but if you do, you really need to get to know them, talk to them for a long time. I mean, damn, if it takes 6 months, do that. Okay, don't be in no meeting them for the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth time, 7, 8, 9, 10th time. Make sure you meet them around people, because these days people will play that little role up until they get what they're trying to get. People can pretend to be nice and everything for weeks, months, and be a day going iller. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you got to really be careful, really, you know, watch all of the red flags and stuff, you know, listen to what the person is saying, do FaceTime, ask about, you know, their lives and things like that, their exes, do a background check, all of that, and listen to your instincts, okay? Because a lot of times our instincts are correct. Point blank. Now, let's see here. And this is why you cannot do Lyft or Uber when it comes to driving people around. 3 escaped inmates put a rope around a Lyft driver's neck and kidnapped her for 10 hours. Okay? Now, they told this female driver not to struggle or she would be raped, tortured, and unalive. So again, 24-year-old Stevenson Charles, Yusuf Minor 31, and Nayald Johannes 25. Okay, they escaped from DeKalb County Jail. So what they did, hold on, I think their girlfriend, one of their girlfriends, ordered the Lyft. Okay, that's what I believe. Let's see. Yeah, it was requested by a woman. Minor's girlfriend helped call the Lyft, so she probably has some charges too. Upon arrival to the requested destination, the Lyft driver unlocked the car for the 3 men to exit the car. Okay, and this is according to the complaint. Instead, one of the men wrapped a rope around her neck from behind. The driver's hands were then bound and dragged to the back seat of the car, where she was instructed to keep her head down and eyes closed. She was told repeatedly not to struggle or she would be unalive. They also threatened to and torture her, okay, if she, struggled. So she estimated she was kidnapped for up to 10 hours. Also, though, the trio used her driver's credit cards to rent a short-term rental property in Florida, okay? And they even went to the rental property, okay? And they still had this woman with them. So, I mean, that's crazy. Imagine going through that. That's why I say it's not even worth picking up people, taking them anywhere, because these damn people be doing weird stuff for real. So let's see what else did they say. So they did get all of the people involved. And they are still investigating everything too. But my prayers are sending out to her as well. And hopefully, she's okay now. So all 3 inmates are back in jail, so that's a good thing. But one of them was jailed on murder charges and armed robbery, dangerous, okay? The other 2, Minor and Johannes, they were serving life sentence for murder. Yeah, all of them, murder charges and armed robbery. So when they told her that they would unalive her, I'm pretty sure they were telling the truth. So I'm glad she didn't struggle, and I'm glad she listened, because that's exactly what they would have done to her, point blank. All right. So anyway, that was a trip, huh? That was a trip. So let's move on, you guys, because of course I said 110, but we're going over just a little bit. Let's go ahead and discuss some major events that happened this past year. Hold on. Let me just change this banner real quick. And let's do this. Hold on, give me a minute, you guys. I'm only going to give you a few. We're not going to go over every single one of them because it's a lot. Okay? But we'll just do a few of them, okay? And I know that's still up on the screen. So let me see, what did I put it up? Now, hold on. Did I put it right here? Okay, hold on, you guys, for 1 second. So what did y'all think about all them little things I just told you about? The online dating, unalivers, the other 2 or 3 news articles I just told you about with the man being raped, and then the woman in the lift card, and the little girl being raped by the little boys. What do y'all think about all of that? It's crazy. Okay. Y'all let me know in the comment section what you guys think about that, okay? Now, this is not the one I want to do. Let me change to the other one. It's not that. Okay, let's see here. I had a different one saved. Okay, hold on. Let's see. I don't want to talk about no politics. So one of the most major events that happened this past year, okay, back in 2025, around January, was those wildfires in LA. Y'all remember that? Let me just refresh y'all memory real quick. And like I said, I'm not going to go over the whole list, okay? I could have went to my own YouTube and showed y'all that. Not YouTube, yeah, the YouTube short. Because I got so many pictures of it up. So y'all remember this right here, okay? Not this. Let's go to January 2025. Oh yeah, this is it right here. This right here. This right here. Okay, can y'all see that? Let me see if it comes up. So that was devastating, you guys. I mean, It was a hot ass mess. All right. That fire lasted for about a month and it caused extensive damage, especially in Pacific Palisades in Eaton Canyon. Now, it cost around 76 to 131 billion dollars. Okay, and 30 people were unalive. See, it burned more than 50,000 acres, destroyed nearly 16,000 homes and structures, and forcing nearly 200,000 people to evacuate. And it also unalived some animals. Okay. So that's good. And then on the 20th of January, y'all president was inaugurated. Okay. And then on the 23rd of January, Thailand becomes the first Southeast Asian country to legalize same-sex marriages. Can y'all believe that? And then in February, Beyonce wins 3 Grammys, including her first ever Album of the Year award. Okay. She also makes history being the first Black woman to win a Grammy for Best Country Album. And then on the 4th of February, the United States begins imposing an additional 10% tariff on Chinese goods, launching a trade war between the two countries. And then later on, the U.S. government increased tariffs on other countries. On the 9th of February, you guys, let me go back to my other screen. The Eagles defeated the Kansas City Chiefs 40-22 to win the Super Bowl. That was a horrible day right there for me. Shit. All right. And then in March, let's see. No, we don't want to talk about that one right there. Let's see. Let's see March. Let's see what happened. So Firefly Aerospace Blue Ghost makes a successful soft landing on the moon, becoming the first commercial lunar, I would say that crazy, lander to accomplish this feat. That was on March the 2nd. And on the 9th, they did their first confirmed colossal squid, and they captured that on film, okay, in its natural habitat. That's something. I didn't even see that. On the 14th of March, Mark Carney of the Liberal Party is sworn in as Prime Minister of Canada. Okay. Let's see what else. We're going to skip over some things, okay? Trust me. So back on the 21st, okay, of March, Netumbo Nandi, I don't know how you pronounce her last name. Dewat, I guess, is sworn in as president of Namibia, becoming the first woman to hold the post. Ooh, then on the 28th, and we remember this, a magnitude 7.7 earthquake strikes, I can't pronounce this word, Myanmar, okay, Myanmar. Okay, 3,600 people passed on, and more thousands of people were injured. Man. In April 21st, Pope Francis passes on at age 88. Ozzy Osbourne, July 22nd. Giorgio Armani, September the 4th. Robert Redford, September the 16th. Jane Goodall, October the 1st. Diane Keaton, October the 11th. I don't know how you pronounce this. Darmendria, November the 24th. And then, of course, Rob Reiner, December the 14th. Amongst other people who passed on and I'll go with that after we finish this, okay? Okay, on May the 7th, India launches a series of missile strikes on multiple bases in Pakistan, okay? They also elected their Pope on May the 8th, Cardinal Robert Francis. He was elected, Prevost is elected Pope, okay? And then on the 9th of May, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration approves the first in-home cervical cancer test. Okay, so that's pretty good, huh? On June the 12th, Air India Flight 171 crashes. On June the 14th, demonstrations against U.S. President Trump, known as No Kings protests, was held across the United States and other countries, drawing more than 5 million people. Okay. Then on the 17th of June, the Florida Panthers win their second consecutive Stanley Cup title after beating the Edmonton Oilers in a 6-game series. Then on the 20th of June, K-pop Demon Hunters began streaming on Netflix. And within 2 months, it becomes the most watched movie of all time on that platform. Okay. Then on the 22nd of June, during the Israel-Iran conflict, the U.S. military strikes Iranian nuclear sites with bunker buster BOMBS. Okay. On the 22nd of June, the Oklahoma City Thunder defeat the Indiana Pacers in Game 7 of the NBA Finals to win its first championship. Okay. So on the 23rd of June, the first images taken by the Vera C. Rubin Observatory are released to the public. So they used a high-powered telescope that takes pictures of the entire visible sky, okay? So on the 25th of June, Axiom Mission 4, AX4, the fourth commercial human spaceflight mission undertaken by Exxon, I think I said that right, AXIOM Space, is launched to the International Space Station. Okay. So on the 26th of June, Anne Wintour, she is one of the most powerful figures in fashion. She announced that she was stepping down as editor-in-chief of American Vogue after being there for 37 years. But she will continue to serve as the magazine's global editorial director, okay? So on the 1st of July, the U.S. Agency for International Development is shuttered after being targeted by U.S. President Donald Trump and the Department of Government Efficiency, okay? On July the 1st, members of the South Korean K-pop band BTS reunite after complete mandatory military service. So now they back out. They got an album scheduled for 2026, y'all, who are, the kids and teenagers and young adults who are into K-pop. BTS, the singing group. So on July the 1st, the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, a telescope funded by the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, discovered Comet 31 Atlas, an interstellar object that is possibly the oldest known comet. Okay. So on July the 7th, the $14, Dalai Lama the exiled spiritual leader of Tibet, announces that he will reincarnate, thus confirming that there will be a $15 llama, okay? However you say that. On July the 4th through the 7th, extreme rainfall brings DEADLY flash floods in central Texas. And that's the one that 135 people were unalive, including 27 campers and staff from Camp Mystics, a girls' summer camp. You know, that was a big story back then, okay? And they said the cost of that disaster ranged from 18 to 22 billion. So on the 16th of July, Coldplay was in concert. A couple is caught on the kiss cam. After spotting themselves on the screen, the man and woman hide from the cameras, prompting Chris Martin, the band's lead singer, to say from the stage, either they are having an affair or they are just very shy. I'm not quite sure what to do. Okay? So they were having an affair. They were co-workers and executives at a tech company. So they later resigned from their job. Okay, their jobs. On the 23rd of July, American Eagle releases a controversial ad campaign titled Sydney Sweeney Has Great Genes. In one of the video spots, the denim-clad actress discusses hereditability of traits and genetics. Okay. So she was promoting eugenics and restoring beauty standards, okay? So on the 30th of July, NASA and the Indian Space Research Organization got together to launch NISAR, N-I-S-A-R. It could be NISAR or NISAR, I don't know for sure. It's the first satellite to use dual microwave frequencies for radar observation. Okay, it will be used to measure precise changes in Earth's surface, providing insights useful for a wide range of applications from groundwater usage patterns for agriculture to disaster management system improvement. Okay. So August the 7th, OpenAI releases ChatGPT-5. So AI, y'all, is getting better and better. On the 11th of August, y'all, President Trump orders the deployment of the National Guard to Washington, D.C., claiming that the move would rescue the nation's capital from crime. Okay. Okay, we're going to skip over that. So on the 26th of August, y'all girl Taylor Swift and NFL star Travis Kelce announced their engagement on Instagram, okay? September the 2nd, the U.S. military carries out the first of a series of lethal strikes on small civilian boats, okay? And that was in Venezuelan waters. On the 7th of September, Carlos Acutis, who passed on at age 15 from leukemia, is canonized by Pope Leo. Okay, whatever that means. On the 8th of September, let's see. We're going to skip over that one. On the 10th of September, conservative activist Charlie Kirk is fatally shot while speaking at an outdoor event on the campus of Utah Valley University. And then on the 23rd of September, before that, y'all know that Jimmy Kimmel was suspended or whatever. So he returned to the air, okay, I think on September the 23rd. October the 3rd, Sean Combs is sentenced to 50 months in prison. Earlier in the year, he had been convicted on 2 charges of transportation to engage in the P word, but DRUG through X parties known as freak-offs, okay? And y'all know throughout the whole year with his trial and stuff, that was big news too, okay? Okay, let's see what else here. Then October the 10th, a ceasefire goes into effect in the Israel-Hamas war, okay, if I said that right. Ooh, on the 19th of October, a team of thieves break into the Louvre and steal 9 pieces of 19th century jewelry. Gosh. Then on the 20th of October, as part of U.S. President Donald Trump's ongoing renovations of the White House, demolition begins on the East Wing, which is to be replaced with a 90,000 square foot ballroom. And then earlier in the year, the grass area of the Rose Garden was paved over. Can y'all believe that? And then the 21st of October, Sanae Takaichi becomes Japan's first female prime minister. The 23rd of October, an NBA betting and gambling scandal makes headlines, okay, following the indictment of Chauncey Billups, head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, and Terry Rozier, a guard for the Miami Heat. Billups is alleged to have participated in illegal poker games that were facilitated by mafia crime families, and Rozier is accused of being involved in illegal sports betting. I didn't even know about that. November the 1st, the Los Angeles Dodgers, led by superstar Shohei Ohtani, beat the Toronto Blue Jays in a thrilling 7-game series to win the World Series and repeat as MLB champions. On the 1st of November, the Grand Egyptian Museum has its official opening ceremony. It is the largest archaeological museum in the world, okay? And it is known for its extensive collections of items discovered in the tomb of King Tut. On the 2nd of November, India wins its first Women's Cricket World Cup. You know, on the 4th of November, Zoran Mamdani, a self-described democratic socialist, is elected mayor of New York City. On the 4th of November, Typhoon Kalamingi makes landfall in the Philippines. And over the next several days, the powerful tropical cyclone strikes Vietnam and Thailand. More than 200 people are unalive, okay? On November the 10th, a powerful car blast near the Red Fort in India, unalives more than 10 people, injures 20 others, and causes severe damages to surrounding infrastructure. On the 12th of November, the last penny is minted in the United States. The first produced in 1793. The coins became very expensive to make than their actual worth. There are some 250 billion pennies currently in circulation. So they made the last one on November the 12th, okay? November the 12th, the longest government shutdown in U.S. history ends after 43 days. The deal to reopen and fund the government includes several provisions, including a Senate vote on health care tax credits and the Affordable Care Act, full back pay for furloughed workers, and the funding of some government entities, such as the Department of Veterans Affairs, through September 2026. And then on the 20th, Frida Kahlo's painting, El Sueño, sells for $54.7 million, becoming the most expensive artwork by a woman sold at an auction. On the 20th of November, U.S. President Donald Trump signs legislation legislation ordering the release of the so-called Epstein files. Thousands of pages of documents related to 2 criminal investigations into ex-trafficking by him and friends to the rich, famous, and powerful. Jeffrey Epstein questions concerning the content of the files have dominated U.S. politics and ruled the second Trump administration. Okay, on the 23rd of November, Haile Gubby in Ethiopia erupts. It is the volcano's first documented eruption in about 12,000 years. Okay. On November the 26th, a fire breaks out in an apartment complex in Hong Kong and burns for more than 40 hours. So they think that blaze was caused by some substandard construction materials, and it unalived more than 150 people. On the 26th of November, Tesla shareholders approved a $1 trillion compensation package. It is one of the largest in corporate history for CEO Elon Musk. Under the plan, Musk could receive stock awards worth up to that amount over the next decade if he meets a series of ambitious financial and operational targets. December the 6th, Inter Miami CF led by star player Lionel Messi wins the club's first Major League Soccer Cup. December the 10th, a social media ban for those younger than 16 goes into effect in Australia. The law focuses on 10 sites, including YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. They forgot about TikTok. Okay, they forgot about that. Okay, on the 14th of December, father and son opened fire on Hanukkah celebration at Bonnie's Beach in Sydney, Australia, unaliving 15 people, injuring more than 40. December the 16th, the 250th anniversary of Jane Austen's birth is celebrated. This is an English novelist who wrote such beloved novels as Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, Emma, and many other works that was adapted for TV and film. And there it is, you guys, 2025. Okay, and that's not every single thing, because there's other things that happen. Trust me, it really is. Like I just said, TikTok thing, more Sean Diddy stuff. Oh God, what's the lady? The Angela Stones unaliving. There's a lot of stuff. It was a lot of stuff that happened in 2025. And hopefully we do not see any of that stuff again. Excuse me, for 2026. Hold on, y'all. Now, the last part of this live is people who passed on. Celebs. Because, of course, I can't tell you every person in the world. But we can do some of the celebs, not all of them. Okay, let me just look up this first, because what they do, when you look at this up, I'm going to tell you straight up, they usually don't include many Black people. So we're going to do it 2 different ways. Oh, y'all. This damn crazy phone. Hold on, y'all. Okay, let's see. 2025. So let's go on the list, okay? Because we have to do it like this. Because we don't do it like this, we don't find out about certain people. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let me take this major list down real quick. And let me hurry up. How long we been on here? We're doing good with the time. Let's just do it like this real quick. Okay, we're just going to go by the list, okay? I'm not going to put it up on the screen. Okay, because y'all should know who all these people are. So, some of the people who passed on in 2025, all right? My condolences are expressed out to anyone who lost any loved ones in 2025, and my prayers are extended out to you guys, okay, and your family. And may all of those people who lost their lives in 2025 rest in paradise. Okay, so D'Angelo, okay, R&B singer D'Angelo passed away. Cosby Show actor Malcolm Jamal Warner, Ananda Lewis, MTV DJ, y'all remember her, huh? Danielle Spencer from What's Happening, soul singer Sam Moore, hip hop icon Valletta Wallace, that's the mother of Biggie Smalls, jazz funk, I can't even pronounce this word, Roy Ayers, okay? So let's see what else we got here. So anyway, Ananda passed on June the 11th, 2025 from breast cancer. Danielle Spencer passed on August the 11th from cancer complications. Valletta Wallace, let's see, she passed on April the 16th, 2025. She was 78 years old. Roy Ayers, legendary jazz funk, performer. He passed on March the 4th after a long illness. Sam Moore, who was an iconic soul singer with Sam and Dave, he passed on January the 10th at age 89. Malcolm Jamal Warner, actor from The Cosby Show, he passed on July the 20th, 2025 from drowning in Costa Rica. D'Angelo passed on, he's an R&B singer, on October the 14th, 2025 after a battle with cancer. And then his ex, Angie Stone, passed on in a car accident. Okay, I forgot what month it was. Let's see what else we got here. It's a lot of people, you guys, a lot of people. Okay, DJ Unk, the Atlanta artist behind the hits such as Walk It Out, Two Step, he passed on January 24th. He was only 43 years old. Irv Gotti, record executive, music producer. Oh my God, let's do this. Founder of Murder Inc. Records, passed on February the 5th. He was 54. Okay. Roberta Flack, she passed on February 24th. She was 88 years old, okay? And of course, I already told you guys about Angie Stone, okay? She was 63. Oh, I forgot he passed on. Dwayne Wiggins. I forgot all about him. From Tony, the singing group. He passed away on March the 7th. He was 64. I forgot that he passed on. Goodness. George Foreman passed on March the 21st. He was 76 years old, you guys. Some of these people I forgot all about that they passed on. Goodness. Michael Sumler from Kool in the Gang. He passed on May the 27th. I guess he was in a car crash in Cobb County, Georgia. I can't see his age. Sly Stone passed on June the 9th. I think he had COPD. He was 82. And Ananda Lewis was 52, you guys. Okay, just to let y'all know that. I don't know if I told y'all that before. Okay, the co-founder of the iconic group, The Whispers, Walter Scott, he passed on June the 26th. He was 81. All right. And then Malcolm Jamal Warner was 54. Angela was 51. Carl Carlton, he just passed on recently on December the 14th. He was 72 years old. Richard Smallwood passed on. He was 77. He passed on the 30th of December. Let's see. Okay, it's Isaac Whitlock Jr. Let's see what he was on. Oh, he was an actor. Okay. Anyway, he passed on Tuesday in New York. He was 71, I guess in December. Carmen D. Lavalade, I guess that's how you pronounce her name. She passed on December the 29th. She was 94 years old. And hopefully I didn't miss anyone. I'm pretty sure I did. But, again, we lost a lot of people. Now let me give you the other list, okay? Okay, let me go ahead. Because like I said, when you just do the overall list, they exclude, besides Malcolm Jamal Warner, maybe D'Angelo, maybe Angela Stone. I mean, other people are just missed completely. So let's look at the other list, which is not cool. So you have to do like 2 of them. And I already told you some of these people already. But Val Kilmer, he passed on. Hulk Hogan. Let me see. Let's see here. And like I told you guys before, General Hospital, God, I forgot his name, man. Anthony Geary passed on recently. I think that was like in November, December, he passed on. The Nip Tuck dude, Julianne McCowan, I think, he passed on. That used to be my show, y'all. Gosh. Nip Tuck, man, he was fine as ever. Let's see who else. Another veteran from General Hospital, Leslie Charleston. He was on there since 1977. He passed at age 79 back in January. It's a lot of people. And I told y'all yesterday, Gene Hackman, he was 95 years old. And that was a big story too. Gene Hackman and his wife, y'all remember? I talked about it. And their dogs too. Yeah, that was a big story in 2025. I don't know why they didn't have that in the major events, because that was major. Y'all remember? Poor Gene and his wife. Gosh. And then Val Kilmer, he passed of pneumonia at age 65 on April the 1st. So listen, that was more than 10 years after he had been diagnosed with and recovered from throat cancer. Gosh. So Brian Wilson on June 11th, he passed at age 82 from the Beach Boys. He was a co-founding member, okay? And then Anne Burrell, who was a Food Network star, she passed at age 55 on June the 17th. Connie Francis passed on July the 17th at age 82. She was hospitalized for extreme pain. Gosh. So y'all, what? Y'all knew that Malcolm Jamal Warner? Oh no, that's somebody else. I was going to say, what are they talking about? Okay, so Ozzy Osbourne passed on July the 22nd at age 76. Okay. So he had Parkinson's disease, okay? Robert Redford passed at 89, September the 16th. And then, like I said, Diane Keaton at age 79 on October 11th. All these people, man, I remember watching these shows and stuff, man. Diane Ladd, 89, she passed on November the 3rd. And then, of course, Rob and his wife, Michelle, just recently passed on. And let's see who else. Oh, Tatiana Schoolsburg, granddaughter of John F. Kennedy, just passed on December the 30th. She had leukemia, okay? So again, that may not be every single one of them, but it's a lot. And like I said before, my condolences are expressed out to not just Star family and friends and fans, but to people who lost loved ones, period. Okay, my condolences are expressed out to all of you guys. You know, my prayers are extended out to all of you guys as well. And may your friends, relatives, loved ones rest in peace. Continue to rest in paradise. All right. Oh man. And so hopefully this year, you guys, we don't be having so many unalivings and stuff. You know, hopefully it just, more people stay alive this year. But a lot of these people did live, some long lives, man. 89, 80, 90 something years old. That's a blessing to be able to live all of those years and, be able to still enjoy life for the ones that, we're able to enjoy life up until their 70s something or 80s or 90s and stuff. Especially people who have parents, still alive then. My mom is like 80 going on 81. Her birthday is coming up and stuff. So that's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? My dad is 5 years younger than her. So, that's a blessing, But anyway, that's the show tonight, you guys. I hope you guys definitely enjoyed it. Before I leave, let me do something comical for you guys. Let me take this off. Because that after doing all that right there, that was a trip, Just take a breather. Okay, let me take this down real quick. So I don't make no resolutions, y'all, but I did do something funny. Let me just tell y'all what it says. Hold on, let me put this up here first. Let's take this off. Let's edit this. Okay. I think I spelled this word right. Resolution. Let me see if I spell resolution right. Hold on, y'all. Spell resolution. Oh, I did. I spelled it right. I had to make sure. Okay. So anyway, earlier I put up mine, not so much a resolution. Okay. Let me tell y'all what it is so y'all can laugh. And let me put my music back on. I forgot to turn it back on. Excuse me. Okay. Hold on, let me get it real quick. Then we're going to get out of here. Hold on, y'all. Okay. So earlier today, I did a little fun thing. I said, I don't do resolutions. I just try to be better. My motto is forget all the weirdos, the losers, the whiners, fake people, fake rich people, fake houses, fake lives, fake social media information, fake channels, fake bank accounts, fake credit ratings, fake friends, fake partners, fake exes, fake YouTube friends, fake designer clothing wearing people, fake jewelry wearing people, pretending it's real, people who use too many filters, peeps who call others names and look like shit, peeps who live on YouTube all damn day and night, liars, manipulators, delusional, cray-cray stalkers, peeps who pose as others on my channel and think I do not know, money-hungry peeps who don't go get it legally for themselves, but like to talk about other people working, prisoners with mental problems, people always coughing and spreading damn germs, peeps who don't use protections when they engage in entanglements, peeps who abuse alcohol, drugs, the gas stuff, smoking, cigarettes, people who don't exercise, eat right, peeps who don't maintain their appearance, peeps with brown tar, peeps with brown tar between their teeth, but got the nerve to talk about some damn body else. And just almost anyone who has these characteristics and etc. Happy New Year's, y'all. My ass is so damn silly. Oh, man. So that's my not so much resolutions. These are the things that I'm going to avoid the entire 2026. Because listen, all I'm thinking about is being positive, having fun, enjoying life, getting everything straight, so I can live better and just, making some major accomplishments. That's it. I don't want all this other weirdness in my life. Now, some things on here I was joking, But a lot of this stuff, I'm not joking. So it's all about being positive and embracing, a positive lifestyle and enjoying every single day that you have, because you never know when your time is running out. All right. So with that being said, you guys, don't forget to thumbs up this video if you enjoyed this content tonight. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Hit the bell notification so you can be notified of any upcoming videos. Share, leave a comment, and hit that hype up button. All you need to do is push over the comment things, just slide it over, and the hype thing will be up, and you can hype up 3 videos per week. All right, so hype me up at least one time. And thank you guys so much for that. And if you want to show additional support for the channel, feel free to do a super sticker, super chat, a cash app donation at $Shades to a copy yourself a membership for $4.99 per month. All right. Other than that, you guys, again, thank you so much for tuning in. And make sure y'all check out my Country Rain live reaction tomorrow early afternoon if you watch Country Rain skits. And make sure y'all check out my other videos in my YouTube shorts, Dollar Tree hauls, and all. All right. And read my community posts because I put polls up there and all types of stuff. All right. So you guys have a good night, and thank you so much for watching. Thanks to everybody in the bushes, everybody who watched this in the replay. Over here in the comment section, thanks to Evelyn, Roz, Jermaine, Sicky Self. Y'all, Jermaine is sick, you guys. So we hope Jermaine, gets better soon. And our prayers and blessings are extended out to Jermaine, Porcupine Head. All right? All right. Good night, y'all. I'm tired. And I'll see y'all tomorrow with another Night Owl Talk Time. I think that's what it's called. Let me see. Yeah. Shades to Late Night Owls Talk Time. When I get tired, y'all, I'll be saying all types of shit. Anyway, I'll see y'all later. Have a good night. Happy and blessed Friday. And Happy New Year's again to you guys. Peace out. Let's go ahead and do this. Let me mute that other music real quick. And y'all like my background? I did that, y'all. Y'all like that? Let me show it to you real quick. That's cute. The tube, huh? That is cute. Shades. So y'all see, let me show you. Man, that is cute. I likes that, man. That's really, really cute. But anyway, it'll be up the whole month of January. So get used to seeing it. All right. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Sweet dreams. And don't let those bed bugs bite your ass up. All right. Peace out, y'all. See y'all later.
Yo, turn the lights down low and the drama up. She's late, she's loud, and she live. Woo! You already know who it is. Shades 2, baby. She back again. Woo! Crowd lit, vibe on 10. Shay walk in like we back again. News, tea, jokes and spins. She don't do small talk, she go in. From the headlines to the comment section, she called names with no correction. You tuned in, don't act brand new. It's late night, baby, she got that view.
Late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I lacked game, back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Popcorn ready, wig on alert. She dropped one line, and somebody hurt. Talk show queen with a side of roast. She run this thing from coast to coast. Late on purpose, still on time. She hit you with shade, then call it a rhyme. Talk smart, talk slick, talk flame. Say the name right here, late night